But hey, we got to recognize with my man Jim back in the house with us. Man, appreciate him coming out. Hey, all right, never stops. Appreciate Jim. That one's for you there, Jim. Appreciate you, baby, for all your service to University of Virginia, to these players, to the staff, to this program, to the athletic department. Man, really appreciate you. Right, you left us in good hands, but we are gonna miss you. So I appreciate you. And then also I want to say thank you to the administration, Carla, and all the administration and all the supporters for the new scoreboard. Man, what a great addition to the atmosphere here at Scott Stadium. Man, it felt different, walking into the stadium in pregame and just the excitement that's going to bring. And really want to thank the students. Man, the students showed up and they covered the hill, and appreciate the fans that showed up, and really appreciate the students and the fans that came back. 2 hours and 18 minutes in a pretty bad storm, right? And a lot of folks decided to come back. So I appreciate all the faithful there, and we understand that we want to fill the entire stadium. So we're going to do our part. But man, when we show back up here, Scott Stadium has a chance to be one of the best venues in the ACC and all the country. We're going to do our part to make sure that we put an exciting product. But man, I want to see Scott Stadium full when we show back up here in a couple of weeks versus Maryland. So I'll transition to questions now.
Coach, again, congratulations on the win. Just two quick things. First of all, you talk a lot about competitive stamina, sustaining 2 hour and 18-minute rain delay. How would you evaluate the way your team came back out, especially this year in comparison to last year?
Right, we learned a lot from last year. Obviously, this was a longer delay, but really want to shout out our ops folks and admin, and man, Steve Pritzker was running around bringing concessions from the concession stand to make sure that our guys had something to eat. That was something that we learned from the last, because again, we eat pregame meal about 4 hours before competition. So when you add that 2 hour delay, it had been a long time since our guys ate. So I thought just everybody pitched in, our ops folks, admin, everybody was trying to make sure these guys were fed. They stayed very upbeat, stayed very engaged throughout the course. Many times you don't get a shot at redemption. And I think about, last year on UVA Strong Day, we had a similar situation and we didn't finish. Really proud of the staff and the guys for finding a way to finish tonight.
Lastly, Coach, evaluate Anthony Calandria's game from where you sat, and also were you always planning to get Tony some reps?
Yeah, so starting with AC, proud of just the maturity and growth, and so you saw, and again, not everybody's going to be able to see the same things as we do as coaches, but I thought he made some heads-up plays. He went out of bounds a couple times, but shows progress. I thought he did a really good job of taking care of the ball. I did have one sack that he's going to learn from, but I saw a lot of growth and maturity from his standpoint, and again, we know with Tony, the competition was very, very close. Came all the way down to the wire, and we said coming out of it, even though we named AC the starter, that we're going to need both quarterbacks. So when you have an opportunity to get them both game action, it just helps to develop the program, and not just with Tony, but a lot of guys. We were able to get them some game time action tonight.
Coach, the goal is always to play complementary football. You were able to do that from the get-go tonight. What kind of led to that?
Yeah, I told the guys that they made the decisions since the last time we strapped it up in Scott Stadium back in November of last year. They made the decisions daily. I think a lot of it is just being a team and understanding the importance of playing complementary football with your teammates. And I thought we did a really good job right out the gate in all three phases. I thought we won what we call the middle eight. The one area where I wanted to see us, do a little bit better was finish in the fourth quarter. We got a little bit sloppy with a couple of penalties and, didn't sustain some drives. But overall, a lot to build upon. And this is just, hopefully this is kind of the floor of this football team, that we continue to build upon this. But the key is to get off to a fast start, and to do that, you got to play complementary football.
Yeah, 7 offensive plays of 30 yards or longer. Did you see that explosiveness coming from the offense, and what do you think attributed to it tonight?
Yeah, so we had seen the explosiveness throughout camp. We felt like we had some guys that could make some big plays, and there's a big challenge to run the football, and so it was awesome to see some of those plays come in the run game where we need to continue to improve to play balanced offensive football. But with the addition of some of the new guys, and then, Malachi have an opportunity to come into his own. I think we all know that when AC takes off and runs, he can always extend the play, but it was good to see the backs, have some explosive plays. And, we want to be explosive, but we also want to be efficient. So, an area for where we can grow and challenge these guys as we go into our preparation for next week is in third down. Obviously we were explosive to be able to cap some drives with scores, but want to see us be a little bit more efficient on third down.
Antonio Clary, back out there healthy, made some big plays for you. What does he bring to that defense when he's healthy like this?
Yeah, so he was the last one that I got a hug from in the locker room as I came over here, because it's been 2 years since he's played football in here. But he brings a toughness. He's a highly intelligent football player. He can get his teammates lined up. He communicates well. When he comes downhill, he's trying to run through you, and then he gives us some great value in special teams. So overall leadership, physicality, toughness, and experience is what he gives us.
Coach, you mentioned some of the ways that Calandria has kind of developed or grown up. He talked to us during the week about some of the off-the-field stuff, maybe watching what he says to us in post-game interviews, things like that. What have you seen from his maturity and development kind of off the football field?
Yeah, so AC has big goals for himself. He wants to play extremely well at the collegiate level, make it to the NFL, and he also has the humility to understand that there's areas where he's got to grow. There's just some things that he hasn't been exposed to up until he got to this level, and so just understanding that the quarterback, there's always eyes on you wherever you go. It doesn't matter if you're in the building, if you're in the classroom, if you're going through the line at Chick-fil-A. Right, people are going to know who you are. They're always watching, and so you have to learn how to be able to manage that. It just comes with the territory, right? It's not something you necessarily ask for, but it's just part of what's required to be the quarterback. And he wants to do well in all areas, right? He wants to learn how to be a pro, right? As he prepares to have a shot to position himself to be a pro. He wants to be a great teammate. He wants to be a leader, and so there's a lot of things that he wants to do, and he just needs experience in that area, and then the willingness to learn from those around him. And I'm excited about the team that we have around him within the staff, also from an admin standpoint, from a sports communication standpoint. I feel like we got a really good team to help him grow as he continues to elevate his play on the field.
Yeah, Coach, what did you make of Kobe Pace's game tonight, and just what does he add to this running game when he is running like that? Yeah,
I thought he showed what he had been showing all through camp, that he wanted to take over as the guy and be a workhorse, and showed that he can that he can extend plays, he can run and hit the dirty carries, but then also he can turn them into explosive plays. So it was good to see him have some explosiveness, and then I thought Jack came in and gave us a spark, and it was good to see X back. We hadn't seen him in a while, and he was down a little bit with his shoulder in camp. But to see him, he brings a different little element to. And then we're hoping to get Noah Vaughn back here pretty soon. So I'm excited about the group, but it's always good when you have a lead dog, that can kind of take the lead and bring the other ones along.
Coach, a lot of coaches like to say that they don't really know what you got until you play a game,
That's right?
Compared to what you thought you had, what did you learn about what you do have tonight?
It's still just one game, again, I thought we were going to be able to move the ball, be explosive. I thought defensively, the guys flew around. Still had some open spots on the back end that we were trying to fill. Again, a different style of offense, that was going to kind of try and ground it out and I wouldn't say be conservative, but kind of play within their system from a passing game standpoint. So we still got a lot of things to learn about ourselves overall, but I was pleased with the improvements from a special team standpoint, and we got to continue to improve there. I thought we protected the punter well, and I thought Sparky hit the ball pretty good, and I thought we did a better job with our placement with the ball on kickoff. Sparky missed it a couple, but he's still kind of evolving and growing into that role. So to answer that question, I like where we started, but still it's going to take a little bit more sample size for us to really know exactly what we got.
Coach, 497 total yards today. That's more than any game you guys had last year. Can you talk about the mentality the guys had going in today to start strong?
Yeah, it wasn't necessarily a number that we were chasing on the stat sheet. For us, it's the mentality of, every time offensively we touch the ball, we want to go score. And offensive theory is that every drive ends in a kick, So we take care of the ball, and we're either kicking an extra point, or we're a field goal, or we're punting the ball away, and not turning it over. And that was an area where, we took some chances. One of those was on me. They were being aggressive on fourth down, and then Tony, he what we tell him was just, man, just don't die with the ball in your hand, in that situation. And so he was just trying to make a play. But we weren't chasing a number. We just want to be efficient. And then it's the same thing defensively is, man, we want to get stops and get off the field, and love 3 and outs. They don't necessarily all have to be 3 and outs, but if we keep them from ending their ending their drive with a field goal kick or an extra point, then we feel good about, that drive defensively.
One of the main things that the defense was focusing is on the pass rush, getting to the quarterback. How would you evaluate them tonight?
Yeah, I challenged them. I wanted them to, statistically, have a couple of sacks, but that quarterback's big and strong. Man, they weren't going to hold it long. They were going to get the ball out. They weren't going to sit back and let you get after him. But I thought they were around him a lot. I thought they got some hits on him. We'll fully evaluate it, tonight and tomorrow to see, where we can improve. But I thought that the mentality was much better. Those guys really taking pride of trying to get to the quarterback. But they're very well coached. They got some veteran guys coming back on the offensive line, and they weren't going to give us many opportunities to let them sit back there and let us go after him.
You didn't get much production from Tyree. I know they kicked away from him. You did some things, had him in the slot, had him in the backfield, motioned him out. I know he had a couple drops. What did you see from his game?
Yeah, I mean, he's going to learn and grow, from tonight and get better. I know he's a competitor, and when they kick away from you, that's respect. You bring that in the door, and I know he wanted to make those plays, but he'll make the adjustment and he'll get better, and I anticipate that he's going to come out and play really well, the next several games for us.
2 more questions, Greg.
You guys played a lot of offensive linemen tonight. What did you see from that group, particularly Jack Whitmer stepping in for McHale? And I guess what's McHale's status?
Yeah, so with Jack, the fact that you don't hear his name or anybody say anything tells you that he played pretty well. So if you're over there on the sideline with your offensive line coach and your coordinator, talking about ways to help him. But so I thought he did a good job of in his first, I think again he was a tight end, a year and a half ago, and now he's out here starting at left tackle for us. Boley is day to day. We're pushing hard to get him back, but he played a lot of last season with the hurt ankle, and we want to make sure that it's in good shape before we put him back out there. You put him out there too soon, and then it could delay it even more. So we'll reevaluate him in the morning, kind of see where he is, man. Hopeful that we'll get him back here pretty soon. I thought that we were able to establish line of scrimmage from a run game standpoint. I thought the protection was pretty solid. There was a couple stacks on the sack sheet, but one of those was Calandria running around, and the other one get rid of the ball, kind of got behind one of his offensive line and ran to the back of him. So great start for those guys. But again, as I told everybody in the locker room, for me it's just the floor. This needs to be the floor of where we're at. We need to build upon this going forward.
Any other questions for Coach?
Jerry,
Jerry, you have one?
no, I'm okay. You good?
All right.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you.